Hello, my name is Mars, and welcome back to Elsinore. In the last episode, in the last loop we went through, we learned that Lady Brit, who incidentally is an original character to this game, not a character from the actual play Hamlet, and I think she's implemented very well. She's a very good character in this game. But we learned that she is the spy who has been uh, committing subterfuge in the Danish court and who has been assassinating us at the end of each loop. So now we're going to have her investigated.
Ophelia.
He says the same thing every morning, so I'm gonna skip that.
You mustn't.
I know.
Hamlet accosted me, but I drove him out. Everything's all right, father. I must share this with the king, unless you have some further explanation to offer. Da-da-da. Okay, first things first, I'm gonna go straight to Bernardo. And tell him that Brit is a spy. Bernardo, you've got to believe me. Lady Brit is leaking information to Fortinbras's army.
Ophelia.
This is a very serious accusation. Extremely, incredibly serious.
I know.
But you've known me my entire life. Have you ever known me to lie about something like this? Won't you look into it as a favor? You're correct in that regard, at least. But Lady Brigida is a respected member of the court. This must be pursued gently. I will speak with her, at the very least. Alright, when's that gonna happen? Right away. And we're already here, so we can just wait for it to happen.
My lady.
Lady Brigida, a moment, please.
Hmm.
I need to ask you some questions.
What?
My men have begun a search of your chambers. Is there anything they might find there which you wish to disclose? Are you asserting something about me, guard captain? Is there some charge you wish to levy on me? Let us assume charges are forthcoming for the time being.
Ugh.
This must be a mistake, and frankly, the queen would be livid to know you detained one of her ladies. I do not require the queen's permission to act in the crown's best interests. So I shall ask you just once more. Is there anything you want to tell me before they find it? What are you insinuating?
No.
There isn't. Leave me alone. I'm going now. I was just on my way to town. I am afraid I cannot let you depart the castle. You are to be detained for the time being. No! You're not going to put me in the rotten dungeon. You have no proof of anything.
Enough.
Stop struggling. I can sling you over my shoulder if I must, or you can take my arm and go quietly. Lady Brit shatters and will not recover. And now she's been imprisoned. And we can go to the dungeon, see what's going on in here. And let's ask Bernardo about a few more things. I've never heard anything about Queen Astrid, King Hamlet's mother. What do you know?
Bernardo.
Very little, I'm afraid. Her reign was before my time. Your father and Marcellus were both in service during those years. Perhaps they'd know more. Well, we don't really need to tell him this because Brit is already incarcerated. Let's try to. Actually, I don't know if Bernardo goes to protect Polonius. He might abandon his post looking after Brit, and she might escape. I don't know. I'll just see where this goes. Bernardo, you're someone I know I can trust.
Bernardo.
I believe Hamlet may act in violence against my father. Can you protect father from harm? And where do you believe their violence may take place, precisely? In the Queen's private chambers. Hamlet has visited his mother's chambers 100 times before without issue. Why now? What could have changed? What was he thinking? Why do you believe him to be a murderer now?
Please.
I can't explain it, Bernardo, but please, in all the years we've known each other, have you not learned to trust me? If it will put your mind at ease, I will ensure no one comes to harm in the Queen's chambers. You have my word. Thank you. Thank you eternally. Okay. So that's something we have to look forward to. This event. We might not be able to see it, because I do recall that we need... Oh.
Greetings.
Greetings, Voltimand. Am I to assume this is the latest on Fortinbras and his men? I was going to say we need a key to get into the Queen's chambers, and we don't have access to that yet. But, whatever. Thank you. The Norwegian prince accepted our peace offer? This should be wonderful news for Denmark. Still, something in me feels unsettled. Marcellus is out in the courtyard. Bernardo said we could talk to Marcellus about something. Alright, we saw this part of the conversation before. Oh. He's going in there. Hey, Hamlet. Hamlet, I need to speak with you.
Hamlet.
Do you bear my father any murderous intent? Or any intent to visit your mother's chambers? If so, I implore you to.
What?
I find your father an insufferable, intractable, insipid sod, but I bear him no ill will. After all, he was steadfastly faithful to my father all his life, and I'm certain I shall visit my mother soon, though I loathe to look at her all the same. Then if Hamlet didn't kill my father intentionally, it must have been an accident. If I could only get inside the Queen's chambers and witness the awful deed myself. Someone who might have insight into that is Irma. Irma, we ought to talk about Hamlet.
Irma.
I believe Hamlet may act violently against my father. And I certainly believe it. He is murderous, uncontrollable. Everyone in Elsinore is afraid. Perhaps someone his elder can calm him, speak to him of his rage. He pushes away my lady and his uncle with all his might. But perhaps someone else could intervene. Oh, no, that's not. Irma's ire. We got a new quest. Irma believes Hamlet is in need of some long overdue discipline, and I've heard her grumbling to the Queen about it. There's no doubt that Hamlet's been difficult for everyone in Elsinore to handle. I wonder if I can force the issue to a resolution. And what did we get? Hamlet must be disciplined. Well, the Queen is busy right now. Let's see, who else? Actually, I feel like I have more to talk to Irma about. Hamlet is acting incredibly strangely, and I'm not sure why. His insolent attitude weighs on my lady's consciousness like a fat stone. A burden, a disgrace, nothing but a nuisance. My poor Goethe must deal with him day and night. The boy needs a firm hand and gets none. The last noble who suffered from such a broken mind put everyone through even more strife before her death. I hope his end is less painful.
Oh, Queen Astrid.
You mean Queen Astrid? Those of us with eyes in our heads know better than to speak of her. But not all traces of a woman can be removed, especially one with blue blood. Some others around here still know the tale to tell it, if only in whispers. It happened several years before I came to Elsinore. Irma, you've been here a long time. What do you know about Queen Astrid?
Emma.
I may be old, but Goethe and I had not yet come to Elsinore then. Oh, I already asked her this. Alright. He doesn't know anything about Queen Astrid. Hamlet, I believe your uncle may want me dead because of our history together. Dead? I fear he wishes to make a more advantageous match with you. And I'm an obstacle to that. Ophelia, do you believe in spirits? My father's ghost appeared to me before me on the walls. It warned me about this. It told me Claudius was a killer. What? And now you tell me my uncle intends to take your life too. It's almost too much to bear.
I'll kill him.
Not while I live. I'll not allow him to harm you. This only adds conviction to my crime. I shall do the world a favor. I can see only blood ahead of me. For now, let me play the part he expects of me. But soon, Ophelia, he'll be gone. And then he'll trouble you no more, I swear it. For my own sanity, I must find out if my mother knew of this. I have to know if she was complicit too. How might we uncover that? Her journal. My mother keeps a diary in her bedroom, detailing her every thought. She writes in it often. I thought she might speak of her guilty mind there if she had one. She's always been fond of you. You can get into her chambers. If she was part of this, I have to know for certain. Help me. Please. Okay. I ruined things with him, a ghost. Hamlet is no longer paralyzed with inaction. Okay, so he's gonna do something crazy. Alright. The Spirit and Prince Hamlet's Madness. Hamlet is tight-lipped on the spirit. He needs to be sure he can trust me. Oh, Hamlet and others have seen a spirit of King Hamlet haunting the castle. This is how we learned of Claudius's deeds. If the ghost is indeed real, maybe there is a way for me to meet it. Surely Hamlet knows something. He's tight-lipped. He needs to be sure he can trust me. He's asked me to get information from a diary his mother keeps in her room. Well, if it's what must be done, then so be it. And what else? Oh, Hamlet's madness was brought on not by love, but by a meeting with what he believes to be the spirit of his father. It's from there he must have gotten his information about Claudius's murder. But the information turned out to be correct. So does the spirit actually exist? We finished that one. Alright. So we might need to talk to, we might need to talk to Gertrude. Like, I want to be able to get into Gertrude's room. And I'm not sure how we can do that. Oh, there's a cat right there. Misty. That one's not very friendly. Nicked my wrist once. Oh, she's in her hiding position. Because she's scared of the cat. That's funny. Hey, Horatio. The ghost. I want to ask him about the ghost. Did Hamlet actually see his father's ghost?
Horatio.
Ah,
You know, I'm relieved you learned about it. I do so hate keeping secrets. Yes, he did, and we were rather shocked when we saw it. If the others hadn't seen it as well, surely I would have thought I was losing my mind. We were up on the walls. It wore the same armor as His Majesty did when he fought the King of Norway years ago. How can I meet it myself? Perhaps speak to it? Ah, it'll only speak to Hamlet, you know. I tried to get its attention, but it didn't seem to care much for me. Spirits do tend to be awfully particular. Once heard of a poltergeist which could only be quieted if it was offered old wine. Did the ghost tell Hamlet to do anything in particular? Kill my father, perhaps?
what?
Not that I know. None of us could hear what it said except for Hamlet, I'm afraid. Okay. Alright, Quince isn't here yet. Quince could give me hints about... Yeah, Quince could give me hints. Because I want to be able to get into Gertrude's chambers. Oh, there's an event.
Ophelia.
I owe you an apology.
I'm sorry?
For what? I did not believe you. Not at first. Please, come with me. Lead the way.
I bring news.
I bring rather unfortunate news. I have uncovered certain illegitimate activities within the castle which collectively amount to treason. I apprehended Lady Brigitta earlier today. She is in custody now. Although you had spoken to us earlier, I still find this distressing beyond belief. I welcomed Lady Brit to this court myself. Are we certain it's true? I'm afraid so, my lady. And were it not for Lady Ophelia's involvement, we'd never have uncovered the link. She must be punished to the fullest extent, just as any other scoundrel would be.
Of course.
If that is your wish, my lord. She is in the dungeon now. We intend to get to the bottom of her deception, and to fully understand the circumstances of her crimes. I'll be interrogating her there each day until I've received satisfactory answers. This is not a thing I find joy in. It is dark work, interrogation, but it is open to any who would bear witness. I must return to work. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I know now that Brit truly was after my life. If that's the case, and she's in the dungeon, then I can't rest easy until I know for certain I might live. If I live to see Saturday afternoon, then I'll know. Okay. That would be going on right now.
Now then.
My men found certain letters in your rooms, Lady Brit, which are written in a most peculiar fashion. At first, simply mundane. A letter to a lady friend asking her to visit. Then another, then one to your mother. Brigitta Sophie Brockenhaus. That's your full name, correct? As I've heard it, the roots of the Brockenhaus family run deep. Yours is the Danish branch, but if one traces the generations up the tree, one quickly finds the stock wanders northward. You seem to write your mother fondly, and you've been sending her drawings of the countryside, haven't you? I draw, and I paint. Is there harm in that? At first I thought them simple drawings of the world seen from Elsinore's heights, but these are no idle sketches. These are maps and troop markings. You've passed them information about every station band from here to the next northern harbor. For what purpose have you passed this information to your family? If you're waiting for me at a cave, we'll be here a long time.
Do you want to live?
Allow me to be frank. Your crime is immutable, but the punishment is yet to be determined. My men have been dispatched to your family's home. I'm confident that by tonight we'll have our answer, with or without your consent to speak. Leave my family out of this. I acted alone. That's impossible. I don't believe it for a single moment. I know your father. I know what sort of man he is. I said I acted alone. I will not permit you to sign your death warrant yet. I will return tomorrow. Perhaps a night of sleeping on stone will rouse your reason. We can go into the dungeon cell and... Someone left a bucket here. It looks like it's full of something. Oh, ugh. Well, I certainly regret looking in there. If this is meant to be a chamber pot, no one's cleaned it in ages. Ophelia now believes that bucket is gross. I forgot about that. I knew there was something good if we came in here, but I didn't remember what. This is where prisoners sleep, or try to sleep, I guess. Alright, Gertrude's out. Yeah, we might not be able to get into... I think that Brit might actually be the key. I think Brit might actually be the one who can get us to the key, so we might not be able to see what happens to Polonius in this episode, but it's fine. How is that fat husband of yours? You shouldn't speak of him like that. It was not an insult. Fat is happy. Fat is proud. He eats everything I make. He keeps me busy. His appetite is a compliment. You know, Norway has extended an olive branch. I'm hoping that will help put Claudius at ease. A peace offering from the Prince of Norway? You think it is genuine? You're always so suspicious, Irma. Only those who have wanted to kill us in the past, or whose parents we have killed. Or in this case, both. It is right to be suspicious. Suspicion of everyone and everything is the only reason I survive. That aside, I believe that today's meal will be to your liking. The men brought home a boar from the hunt. I've also stewed some kohlrabi, for old time's sake. Just the sort I made for you when you were a girl. Truly? But you know the others don't care for them. A pity! I guess you'll have to eat them all yourself. I suppose I will. Hamlet's meeting with the ladies. Your Highness, we need to discuss Hamlet once more.
Your Highness.
My lady, I know how this sounds, but I believe Hamlet is going to kill my father. In your chambers. Can you help? That's a poor jest, and cruel of you to say. Certainly my son is disturbed, but to call him a murderer is an insult I thought you incapable of. Do you have any plans to meet with my father and Hamlet? Not the both of them at once, no. What brings you such concern? If you're worried of any misdeeds taking place in my chambers, I keep them very private. Hardly anyone has access without my explicit permission. This is, of course, to prevent exactly that sort of sordid business from happening in the first place. Gertrude's chambers. The door to Gertrude's chambers is locked, but I won't let that stop me. There has to be a way to get inside. Someone close to her must know, surely. Alright, that might be the thing I need to talk to Irma about. I need access to the Queen's personal chambers. Can you help me? I ask with the Queen standing right there.
Irma.
I have a key. What need do you have of it? I'd just like it to take a quick look around. There's something I'm looking for. Rummaging around in my lady's chambers? Ha! Guts, but no tact. Everyone knows you're too curious for your own good, my lady. Isn't there something I could do for you in return? A favor of sorts? A woman who strikes deals. Far too few of those around. Yeah, I'll bite. I've been known to gamble now and then, But the cowards who play with me are too delicate to play my favorite trick-taker, rough and honors. Instead, they stick only to the games they think they can win. Round up my card partners, persuade them, and you'll have yourself an exchange. Not to mention, if the guard captain sees me rousing up his men for immoral behavior, he'll be furious, the pious lout. That'd be Horatio and Marcellus, of course. Ordinarily, it'd be Brit too, but, well, rather ashamed to hear the news. If you tell them all I want to strike up a game, come back here. Only then shall I shall unlock the room for you. Irma wants to play cards. Okay. Horatio and Marcellus. Where's Marcellus? He's in the garden. He's probably closest, actually. Irma wants to play cards. What? What do you mean it isn't true right now? Oh. It's because Brit is locked up, isn't it? Okay. Okay. These must be Bernardo's things. That was his father's dagger. He died 2 summers ago. Lady Ophelia, don't go getting in trouble with Bernardo. He really dislikes it when you look through his things. Last time he caught me, I was cleaning boots until my hands got sores. Alright. Irma tells me she would be willing to give me her key to Gertrude's room if I organize a card game for herself, Lady Brit, Horatio, and Marcellus. I'll have to talk to each person she mentioned individually. Okay. So, yeah, Brit is necessary. Alright. So this is kind of a big thing that happens. What information did I get from Hamlet? I shared inconvenient affections with him. And that... What did that do? It shattered him and made this event happen. Look at him go. He's just pacing his room. Alright. So, Hamlet's about to resolve the plot to Hamlet in quite spectacular fashion. She's hiding very subtly. Thank you for agreeing to meet with me.
Of course.
Of course. What's this about, Hamlet? I have just one question to ask. Of course, anything.
Murderer.
I know you killed him. I have proof. A trusted witness. All I want to know is why.
What?
Killed who? I don't know what you mean.
Liar.
Don't play me for a fool. I know you took my father's life. I know with certainty. I have no intentions of telling anyone else, but I wanted to hear the truth from you. I knew this day might come, but I didn't know when. Perhaps in my heart I've been quietly praying for you to know the truth.
Mercy.
Have mercy, Hamlet. I killed him, but I live with the weight of a regret so deep I cannot touch the bottom. I have punished myself enough for my crime. I know it was wrong to have done it. I know it now with everything in my soul. If you have only a shred of mercy within your heart, cling to that and let it fill you. It would bear you a rich reward. We could rule together. You could be prince not only in name, but in act and deed. The country would love you for it. Can you imagine? And with my expertise on the throne now, I'd be able to tutor you, preparing you for the day when you would become king yourself.
I swear it.
Yes, that's how I could make this right, I think. Restore you to where you ought to be. where my brother would have wanted you.
So,
You're saying
it's true.
you really did kill him? I see. I find your offer intriguing. I think that would ease Father's spirit, knowing I was preparing to take his place. Yes, let me contemplate the offer.
Nephew.
You truly mean it? Oh, my boy, my poor nephew. I cannot apologize enough.
Yes.
I need a night's time to think it over and to pray. We'll speak further after that.
Of course.
Of course, anything you desire, anything at all. First, I want you to do one thing. I've witnessed my father's spirit, Uncle. I spoke to it. You see Father's portrait there on the wall? The one that he stole from the gallery? If we'd taken the time to examine the gallery, we would have noticed this portrait missing from it. Of course. It's strange. I've not seen it in the gallery in months. He looked so cruel there. My brother was a stern man, but the cruelty he earned from our own father. What would you say to him?
Brother.
I'd say, why, there's so much to say. How much I miss.
Bastard.
I don't give a damn. You and your apologies can burn in hell. I loved my father with all my heart, as did his country, and you took him from all of us. No peace offering of power can bring him back from the dead, or save your soul. At last, he is justly served. Alright, he's still shattered. He looks devastated. I don't think there's anything I could say at this point. Oh, I'm still hiding. Okay, so that happened. Alright. Now, Polonius is actually going to live now. Alright. I think I kind of messed up everything I had going for me. Claudius disappeared. Bye, Claudius. That's the Herald's horn. Something's happened. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, for disturbing you. There have been some troubling circumstances. The castle is in a state of emergency until my men and I are able to investigate thoroughly. The king has passed. As a result, no festivals or celebration will be observed for some days. His loss is keenly felt by us all, I'm certain. His Majesty and the Prince... Well, I'll leave it to His Highness to describe what transpired between them. Needless to say, it was a tragic accident. We shall all mourn him deeply. This is horrible. I cannot believe it. Good riddance, I say. His Majesty? The nobility will soon meet to arrange a vote. In the interim, by our custom, Hamlet would traditionally carry on the duties his uncle leaves behind. My lord, are you prepared for that? If that's what I must do. I need some time to think about it. But I think my own father would have wanted this of me, for me to take the throne. You don't have to do this, my prince. Please, just give me time. Of course, as you wish. I apologize, everyone, for the disturbance, but sudden death like this always warrants a heightened awareness. I encourage all of you to report anything troubling you see to me at once, and remain within the castle if possible. Alright, Hamlet is next in line to become king. Horatio educates Hamlet. Okay. So,
Ophelia?
I might have messed things up with Brit, because now the castle is in a state of emergency and she might be able to escape. Darn. Ophelia, a word in private, please. He's dead. I can scarcely believe it. I just wish I knew what Father would say. I never thought I'd make it this long. I thought everything was so dark for so long. I couldn't feel, couldn't think. All I wanted to do was die. Some part of me still does.
I know.
I know. But now you've got to make the hardest decision of your life. Where do you go from here now that you've chosen to live?
Hmm.
I think I already know. I've spent these long months trying to purge you from my mind, but I couldn't do it. All the same, I know you've despised me from afar all summer. I wanted to respect that boundary. If it's true that you love me no longer, I'll go, and I'll never trouble you again with my affections, nor stumble blindly into your room at dawn. You have only to say the word. What will the others say, Hamlet? What does that mean? You know well, the forces at work in Elsinore are far stronger than whenever I might desire. Don't you think I saw the way your uncle looked at me, as though I were an annoying insect? But he's gone now, Ophelia. He's dead. Listen, I am prince of this country, and soon, God willing, I will be king. What could you desire that would be beyond my power to control? You and I are bound by different privileges. That's a truth of this castle. But it doesn't have to be, not anymore. Is that still something of interest to you? Revisiting our relationship, you mean?
Yes.
Yes. Do you want me still? I was vile to you. I knew it even then. I've done things to you that would shame my father were he still alive. No amount of apology can ever remove what I've done to you. But despite all that, I am deeply, truly, eternally sorry for things I said and did to you. And if you can find it in your heart to ever think of me with affection,
Hamlet.
what you did to me was wrong. You tried to wound me with everything you had. You came after me again and again, and it hurt. I don't know that I can ever trust you again after that, or whether you deserve my trust.
Yes.
You're right. With my uncle's passing, I have come to believe in a world of fundamental justice. Justice for all who have been wronged, including you. And in a just world, I treat you as my partner and better for the rest of our lives. The mistakes of our past teach us where those whom we love deserve to be. And you deserve to rule Denmark at my side. You'd be a magnificent queen. I've always said as much, even in my cruelest moments.
Please.
Can you share that vision with me? Can you trust me again? Rekindle my relationship with Hamlet. Hell yeah! Look, you know me, I flirt with everyone in these games. Ugh. I like Hamlet, I do. He's a jerk, but you know, I don't have any autism headcanons for this game, but he's Hamlet. He's clinically depressed, and that is relatable neurodivergence to me as well as much as autism. So I I like him as a character, and I like him for Ophelia. Your mother would be thrilled, I'm certain. So, your answer? I don't forgive you, Hamlet. Not yet, but I suspect something in me misses you after all. I. Uh. Oh. Why are you crying? Isn't this what you wanted? No, no, it's not that. These last few days have been. These last few months have been a living hell. I couldn't agree more. Are you afraid of what comes next? More than I've ever been. No one is certain what the chain of command ought to be. I intend to take advantage of that ambiguity. It's time I sat on the throne. What's your plan? I don't have one. Not yet. If only there were someone who could give me advice, help me through this.
Oh.
I might have some ideas.
Wait.
Where are you going? Will I see you tonight? Don't be afraid, Hamlet. The future belongs to you. Allow me to put thought to action on your behalf. Until we meet again. Making a king. Okay. Alright, we tried to do a lot in this episode, and it might... It might end up that nothing I do really matters that much. Yeah. Alright, we can try to do the whole making a king thing.
Hamlet.
Everything alright?
I.
It's as if nothing's changed. He's dead, and all moves on without him. Though surely I know my mother grieves him. Perhaps the moment after one's king has been taken is a quiet one. The game is over and must be started anew. And now I line myself up on the edge of the board, ready to fight in his stead. Hamlet. This should be a moment of triumph for you. This is what your father wanted, isn't it? You've eliminated the fox from your henhouse. Murder has been answered with its own kind. Come now, isn't that cause for celebration?
No.
My father is still dead. I thought Claudius's death would make it feel alright, but it doesn't. It's exactly the same, and now somehow worse. I never wanted to be king. And I'm going to fail them all. How long will it take them to realize what an idiot I am, if they haven't yet? How useless I am, no less a pretender than my uncle.
Hamlet?
Look at me. Chin up.
Ah.
That's a good lad. Now, deep breath. A big one. There, I see a little color in your cheeks. Feeling any better?
Horatio.
I don't deserve you, really. I know, and yet here I am. The road before you is a difficult one, but it is one many men have trodden before you and will tread after you are gone. You can do this, I promise it. I have everlasting faith in you, in the goodness that lies within your frail little heart. And if you cannot believe in your own heart, believe in my good taste at least. You need to face this head on, and you shall. In a scant few days' time, when all this is past, you will go before the nobility and ask their vote to wear the crown. If you can find it within you to be ready for that day, then you will make a great king.
My thanks.
You're right. The time has come to put aside childish things. Never forget that I'm here. And Ophelia's here, even if she likes to skulk around pretending we don't see her.
Oh.
And as long as you have friends in this world, you can do just about anything. Now go about your business as usual, but keep your head turned up and your shoulders back. Act like the king you will be.
I will.
Indeed, I will. Thank you both. This is exactly what I needed.
Farewell.
You know where to find me if you need me. Alright. Yeah. I'm not gonna pursue the Hamlet being king thing today. Because I kind of feel like I messed up this loop, and I kind of want to see how everything shakes out. So, Saturday at 11:40. So, actually, yeah. This would be when Polonius dies. But he's not gonna. I know father ought to perish on Friday evening by Hamlet's hand, but circumstances have changed. Could it be? Could I have actually saved him this time? I feel as though I need to see him.
Father?
My heart, come in. Thank you. You tore me from most troubling thoughts. What have I done to warrant a wheeling visit from my daughter? Whatever it was, I hope I can replicate it for future visits. Father, I can't believe you're... He'll only think me insane. What were you thinking about before I came in? You looked worried. Oh, the sorts of idle things an old man dreams about when he begins to contemplate the end of his life. Namely, your mother. Were she still here, what she'd think of me, of the way I've lived my life. I've served the throne faithfully for so many years. Sometimes I look around and wonder what all this unflagging allegiance is worth.
Oh, Elise.
And I wondered if your mother would be proud of the way I've raised you in Laertes, or if she'd wish we'd left Elsinore long ago. I know she'd be proud. Oh, there she is right there. She looks just like Ophelia. You've done everything you could, Father.
My love.
You know, Ophelia. Sometime in the future, I've been thinking I ought to take you to summer somewhere outside of Elsinore. Not now, but perhaps in a year when we've made you a suitable match and you're intended to be wed. When this Norway nonsense passes and it's safe out there for you, you, I, and Laertes will leave these walls a small while. Oh my god. I'm tearing up a little bit, guys. It just makes me so happy that she's with her father and this music. We're not going to be able to save him every time, but when you do, it's just wonderful.
Yes.
That does sound nice.
Father.
I know it doesn't make sense to you now, but I'm glad you're alive and well. I thought I'd lost you. Maybe forever. And I was so scared.
Lost me? Why, I'm right here.
Oh,
Look at me. Don't cry. Why would you fret? I'm here.
the voice acting? And I'm not going anywhere. Not for some time yet, at least.
It is time.
Unfortunately, for now, I must ask you to leave me be. I have some rather distasteful planning I need to complete and some duties to attend to.
Farewell, Father.
Then I'll leave you be, Father.
Ophelia?
One last thing. If something like this happens again and I don't survive, I want you to have something of mine. It's a key. It opens a chest in this room containing my most private belongings. I keep it on me at all times. This chest cannot be opened via any other method. It contains things which could cause people in this castle no small amount of grief, if uncovered. If I ever perish, I want you to take the key from me, to open this chest and burn everything inside it. Do you understand me? He's safe in this world, but he won't be safe in the next one. Of course, Father, if that's what you want. I understand. Farewell, love. Sweet dreams.
I did it.
Father is alive and well, though it was not without a price. But at least for now, my father is alive. That's what matters. I'm not going to be able to save Father every time. I know that. There's so much that needs to be done. And his death was only one small part of my nightmare. But no matter the cost, being able to change his fate this much, it's a victory, albeit a small one. Even so, I won't live much longer now. Unless I find a way to stop whoever's killing me, Brit, Father and I can never survive together and live on. I'll just be returned to the beginning again, and Hamlet will still be a threat to Father's life. I've got to find someone who believes me about this assassin so I can plan further. Ophelia now believes that fates can be changed. I did it. I actually saved him. Though it did not come without a cost, it meant so much to me to see him live beyond a fate that previously seemed inescapable. I know it's a temporary victory, At the end of these days, it will all be reset, and then he will probably die many times just as before. But now, at least I know something can be done. Anytime Hamlet is distracted or prevented from meeting his mother, father is safe. Okay. What? Lady Ophelia. Who's there? It is you. Excellent.
No!
This shouldn't be happening.
Boo.
Ah! We actually did it. With Brit captured, we're not gonna get killed.
Quince?
I did not intend to trouble you, lady. What are you doing out here? Commending you for your most excellent performance. I've heard Lady Brit was apprehended for her, shall we say, aspirations. I'd like to trim the fat from this act, as it were, cut straight to the action, reduce the tedium. I find repetition in plays absolutely boring. I've never been known to walk out at the intermission. What are you talking about?
What was once canonical can be rewritten.
Take my word for it that Lady Brit will never trouble you again. The dangling plot thread is, shall we say, snipped. So now we have permanently changed the story. We will not die on, what is it, Saturday morning? And we will be able to see it through all the way to Sunday. I look forward to seeing what tomorrow brings. It will be a refreshing change of pace for both actor and audience, I think.
Farewell.
Farewell, my lady. Adieu.
Wait.
Does this mean I'm free of all this? Of this repeating world? And I'll move forward with the rest of my life now? That nightmare I had, it didn't end when Hamlet killed my father. I also saw the king and queen dead. I saw my brother murder Hamlet. Does that mean that's what's coming for me? And they're all going to die, all of them? Oh, my dear, you know the weather is quite wonderful in Elsinore this time of year. Do try to enjoy the next day fully. One mustn't trouble oneself with the future until it has come to pass. Strange, as usual. He's clearly trapped outside the flow of time, like me, but in a different sort of way. More powerful. I can use him to my advantage. He seems to know more about my situation than he lets on. Alright. So, to catch a spy, that's done. It seems my success might be permanent. I was surprised by a visit from Quince, who promised me Brit would never come after my life again. How he intends to accomplish this, I'm unsure, but for now, I wonder what else lies before me. He has some small ability to alter the flow of events. But if that's true, then why doesn't he just alter his way out? Is he here for my sake? Okay, so, even though the loop is not finished and we still have a day left, day and a half-ish left, the episode's gone on pretty long, so I think I'm gonna end it here. And we will resume with this loop, maybe pursue the prince's ambitions in the next episode. We might not have time to get through all of that quest, but I can try. The world is my oyster now that Brit is no longer a threat to me. So, I have been Mars, and I will be back with more Elsinore.